Welcome to Verge Info YouTube channel. My name is Sarah, and I am a psychologist.
Hey, my name is Alex, and I am a tech enthusiast and futurist. Today, I am exploring the topic of how technology is changing our minds, the good, the bad, and the future. With Sarah.
Alex, it's so good to be discussing this topic with you today. As a psychologist, I've seen firsthand how technology has revolutionized access to mental health resources, something I don't think many people fully appreciate yet. We always hear about the negatives, but there are so many positives too. Online therapy, meditation apps, virtual support groups, these things are giving people hope, aren't they?
Definitely, Sarah. And I think the beauty of it is that technology is putting power in the hands of individuals. Just think about how accessible therapy has become. People no longer need to rely on traditional in-person settings, which are often expensive and stigmatized. Now, apps like BetterHelp and Talkspace are allowing people to get therapy from the comfort of their own homes. It's this level of access that's breaking down barriers.
I love that you mentioned stigma. For so long, mental health was something people didn't talk about. Now, technology is playing a huge role in normalizing those conversations. I've had clients who started with online therapy because it felt less intimidating, and later transitioned to in-person therapy when they were ready. So, in many ways, it's a gateway.
And beyond therapy, let's talk about mental health apps like Headspace and Calm. These are great examples of how tech is making mindfulness and meditation mainstream. They're giving people tools to manage their mental health on a daily basis without needing to see a professional every time. I personally use Headspace almost every day for a quick meditation session.
Oh, me too. It's amazing how just 10 minutes of mindfulness can make such a difference in your mental state. But you know, it's not just about meditation. There are apps that help people manage everything from anxiety to depression. These platforms are like mini toolkits for mental well-being.
Yeah, it's like carrying a mental health support system in your pocket. And for people living in remote areas, where therapy might not even be an option, these apps are lifesavers. Think about people in rural areas or in countries where mental health services are severely underdeveloped. With the internet, those barriers practically disappear.
Exactly. That's what I love most about this technological shift. Accessibility. It's bringing mental health care to people who otherwise wouldn't have any. Plus, there are now online communities that allow individuals to connect with others who are experiencing similar challenges. This sort of peer-to-peer support is invaluable. For someone who feels isolated due to their condition, finding an online support group can be life-changing.
Yes. The community aspect of technology is so often overlooked. For example, people with rare mental health disorders, who might not know anyone else with their condition, can now find others like them from all over the world. That connection is powerful. It's validation, and it's understanding, which are critical for mental health.
Absolutely. I've had clients with conditions like bipolar disorder or borderline personality disorder who found immense comfort in online communities. But I have to wonder, Alex, do you think there's a danger of replacing real-life connections with these virtual ones?
That's a valid concern, Sarah. While online connections can be meaningful, I do think they're different from face-to-face interactions. Technology can't completely replicate the human experience. There's a warmth and energy in being physically present with someone that can't be matched online. But I think the goal is not to replace real-life relationships, but to complement them. For people who don't have access to in-person support, these online communities fill a crucial gap.
I agree. And actually, that brings me to something else I've been thinking about. Virtual reality, VR, and its potential to transform therapy. I mean, imagine this. Instead of sitting in a sterile therapist's office, you're in a calming virtual environment, maybe by a beach or in a forest, while you talk through your problems.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. VR has already shown a lot of promise in exposure therapy for things like PTSD and phobias. The immersive nature of VR allows therapists to create safe environments where patients can confront their fears in a controlled way. I've seen a demo where someone with a fear of flying could sit on a virtual plane, and with time, that exposure reduced their anxiety.
Exactly. It's a great example of how technology can help people heal in ways we couldn't have imagined a decade ago. And what I find most exciting is the potential for VR to create a sense of presence. Even though you're not physically in nature, the sensory experience is so immersive that it might have the same calming effect as actually being there.
And let's not forget about Dream Online, your idea about a platform where people can meet and communicate in their dreams. If that technology ever becomes a reality, imagine the potential for people to work through trauma or even have therapeutic conversations in their dreams.
I love that idea. The subconscious mind is where so much of our healing takes place. So if we could tap into that through technology, the possibilities are endless. But before we get too carried away with the positives, I think we need to address the other side of the coin. While technology has done a lot of good, it's also responsible for some serious mental health challenges.